Hey, I am back with another video. So today, I am genuinely here to do a full rant. I know I normally rant, but I'm serious because I'm trying to get an understanding as a casual I guess I would consider myself a newer wrestling fan. Only been watching for about a solid year, maybe and some change now. What is actually happening? I have so many complaints. I've been meaning to do this video, but I just keep waiting because my complaints just keep piling up. And again, when I say casual, I mean I'm watching Raw. That's it. I ain't watching SmackDown. I watch the clips on YouTube for SmackDown, but I don't watch outside of that. And but I definitely don't watch NXT. At least with SmackDown, I go to make sure I watch the clips. But other than that, I'm watching Raw. Oh, and I've watched all of the PLEs. Except this one, Wrestlepalooza, which we'll get to it in a second because that pretty much ties up. It goes into a couple of different things. But I want to start off with this whole $30 a month situation. So the whole deal of we're no longer going to be on Peacock anymore. We're going to be on ESPN. Okay, well, I have Comcast. I've always kept my cable because, not because I watch regular cable, but you know how there's all of the different apps, there's TLC, there's VH1. I realized early that people have to pay individually for those apps, so I just keep my cable so that I can have access to all of those apps. So I've always kept my cable. So I have Comcast or Xfinity, and when the announcement came out that they were doing this, it was really confusing. And then it was oh, don't worry, it's gonna be that if you already have cable, then you'll be able to get access to the app. Okay, cool. But they haven't finalized everything with all of the cable people. Okay, so then why are you telling us? Why are you telling us? And then why are you rushing? This is exactly what it feels like to me. Because I work in corporate America. And this happens all the time. Sometimes there will be a really big merger or a really big deal, actual business deal that came together, or even down to there's a new software, just something that we acquired, right? And because the higher ups are so excited that we got this new shiny thing, they want to show everybody, hey, look at my this, look at my this. But the thing about that is that it's never all the way fleshed out. It's always, we got I'm trying to think of a good, I guess I can just use them, but it's I feel what happened is they closed that deal with ESPN, and instead of taking the time to make sure that everything was fleshed out, they just wanted to be able to jump out the window and say, oh, not only are we gonna be working with them, but oh, we're gonna throw on a last minute event out of nowhere to kind of cap it off. I know everybody in corporate was freaking scrambling, and in corporate America that happens all the time. These higher ups, they get so excited about a merger or some new little toy, and then throws it on the rest of us and says, go ahead, make it work, because I work in marketing. So it's go ahead, we got this new little thing, we want y'all to stop everything that y'all are doing and make this the priority. And then when you come back and you have questions about the logistics behind it, for example, well, you want us to say that we're doing this, but how exactly is this going to work? Who's all included? Oh, well, we didn't get that part figured out just yet. That's exactly how they be wanting us to be. That's so crazy. That's really how they be at my job, too. They be we don't have everything but together. We don't have everything sewed down. Everything ain't even complete, but just go ahead and make it work. It be insane. That's really how it is at my job. That's crazy. No, y'all should have had everything completely fleshed out. What would have been the harm in waiting until the top of next year, right? To put on an event or whatever, you know, like, and announce it. It could have been like you rolled your Peacock contract out, and then maybe towards the end of the year, maybe on Thanksgiving, y'all come out and announce that y'all have this partnership with ESPN, and that sometime within the first quarter of, sometime in Q1, maybe in January, we're going to put on an event. Because then that would have gave you the time to pretty much try to flesh everything out. But the point of the matter is that y'all was so excited to get that deal done that y'all threw everything together last minute, and it showed. So a lot of people didn't even get to watch Wrestlepalooza because the majority of like the really, really big cable brands, y'all didn't finish y'all contracts with them so that we could have access to the app for free. And I'm never paying, I'm never paying $30 a month to say, for possibly 5 PLEs. $30 a month. Absolutely not. My question is, how many PLEs do y'all plan on putting on at that rate? If that's how much y'all are charging people, that's what I'm concerned about. You guys already put on so many PLEs I can't even keep up with. It's not giving enough time for the story to flesh out because y'all are always building to the next quote-unquote biggest event of the year. It's making it hard as like somebody that's new and casual to this shit keep up as to what the fuck is going on. Because again, coming in this first year, I'm trying to figure out what are the, like with the premium live events, which ones are like super, super important and what's the significance? Because again, growing up, those things, like the only things that didn't really have a lot of big consequence was like, what was it like summer Survivor Series or whatever, and maybe like Backlash, but everything else, it really had a big meaning to it. But it seems like every month and a half, it seems like y'all are having some big event of the freaking year. So it doesn't give much time for the episodes in between to be excited about this quote unquote big ass event. This build up to Wrestlepalooza was trash. It was trash. And you want me, after seeing that, because I want to be very clear, I watched Wrestlepalooza via somebody's TikTok live. And I said it before and I said it again. That's how I'm going to continue to watch it. Okay? But once I get my VPN, it's up and it's stuck. But the point of the matter is, after watching that, that's what you want me to pay $30 for? When you decided to rush something because you were so excited about your new brand toy? Your brand new toy? If that was supposed to be an advertisement as a casual somewhat as to why I should pay more money or $30 a month at that, when Peacock is already, like, as somebody that has cable, Peacock is already included in my shit. It's like $5 a month through, like, Xfinity for me. So, it wasn't nothing for me anyway. It didn't make any sense. Y'all, like, cut down y'all viewership by so much by not having all those deals done with the cable providers. $30 a month. In this economy, I don't even know. I think maybe Netflix is the most I pay for. And I think that's like $25 a month. Or maybe it's HBO Max, something like that. Absolutely not. And as a woman, not trying, I mean, I watch basketball. And well, to be fair, I do watch basketball. And I have I have NBA League Pass. So, never mind. I do fall in that small majority of women that watch sports a lot and wrestling. But for a lot of them, they don't. So, what do that mean to us? Or what do that mean to the men that don't really be into sports as much enough to pay that? The prices is ridiculous. I've been trying to look for, seats and stuff like that to try to go to, a show or whatever now that I'm into it. And the prices are just like, I was so surprised as somebody new into this shit how much everything costs. I was like, I did not know that these wrestling shows was this much. And then, listening to other people, come to find out this is more of a newer thing that it's this much money. That's insane. The amount of money that y'all are asking for. What else is my complaint? Because I got a whole list of complaints. What else? Wrestlepalooza sucked. First of all, Brock Lesnar being back is a whole situation within itself, right? But my thing is, if you gonna bring him back, right, knowing all of the backlash, first of all, y'all was straight punana for bringing that man back, and then for the very first time not doing a little press interview afterwards. Y'all punana for that. But if y'all was going to bring him back, at the bare minimum, y'all should have made it like that it was so undeniable that nobody could even say anything. Like, yes, we brought him back, but the storyline is fire, the match is fire, the build-up is fire. Like, there's no way that anybody could at least deny him being back was, like, impactful. What was him being back? He didn't even do nothing. First of all, y'all brought him back, right? Out of nowhere. And then, like, had him do something to John Cena twice, or them interact twice without even really talking. And then pretty much nothing for weeks at a time. I thought I was tripping because, again, I only be watching Raw. So I thought I was tripping when I'm like, where the fuck is Brock Lesnar? It's like he popped up and then it's like he completely disappeared for weeks at a time. What was the point of bringing him back if he was going to play The Rock in the sense of coming and going every few weeks? What are we talking about? It's like what y'all did with Goldberg and Gunther. Like how y'all just sprung that out of nowhere. And this is my whole thing. I realize I see what y'all are trying to do. I'm not slow because I'm one of the people that fell for it. Wrestling is really trying to expand. Obviously, they're always going to try to expand, but they're trying to expand in a completely different way and really get like more to mainstream in. And for them to be able to do that, they have to tap into when wrestling was at its peak, which was like the 90s and the early 2000s, that's why they're pulling on those people so much. So like Brock Lesnar, again, as somebody that just kind of started watching again for last year, like I know who Brock Lesnar is because as a kid, Brock Lesnar was introduced. He was new. I know exactly who he is. That's why they're pulling Undertaker old ass out because he's an icon from the Attitude, that whole era. Shawn Michaels, like they're pulling out these legacy acts to get the older crowd to pretty much be invested in it. And I get that, but it has to make sense at the end of the day. Like you can't just bring Brock Lesnar in to go against John Cena just because I know who both of them are, just because I know who, they both are, and not make the story make sense. Because then it feels like, for me, like you're just pulling shit together. Like, it's just about the names. That's how it comes off. As a casual viewer, it comes off like y'all not invested in the storyline. Y'all are just invested in getting two big names to go against each other. But it not make sense. Like, it gotta make sense, and it's not making sense. So, the build-up didn't even make sense. Oh, also, I never touched this, but the whole way that we went from John Cena being a heel to a babyface was complete BS. What was that? It's like they literally just said, you want to know what? This is not working. This ain't working no more. John, just go out there and tell them you're a good guy and you're sorry. It literally made no sense at all. It made zero sense to me. But now he's just a good guy again. Okay, all right, whatever. This match was trash because number one, I know people were upset about it being like the first match, and I would agree. But at the same time, seeing how the match went, I see why I went first. The match was no longer than like 5 to 7 minutes, and the whole time Brock Lesnar is beating John Cena's ass. Like somebody said, is that the point of the retirement tour? Like, what are we doing? And he beats John Cena? Like, what are we doing? I guess they're hinting at making Brock Lesnar part of the vision. Is that what that was? And it would have made way more sense if right after he initially did what he did to John, then he would be brought out as part of the division. That all makes sense. That match was trash. Then we have all the other matches. Everything else was okay. But I'm saying all of that to say is that for y'all to, that was like supposed to be our advertisement as to why people who don't have cable should pay $30 a month. And y'all failed miserably. I'm telling you right now, people are about to be VPN the fuck up. VPN the fuck up. That's crazy. What else do I gotta complain about? Cause y'all that let me see. Oh, the whole storyline with R-Truth. So that's just out the window, huh? So the Ron Killings storyline, similar to John Cena, we're not gonna explain anything. We're not gonna have it make sense. It's just done. It was this whole ass campaign around bringing R-Truth back once he was let go. And when he came back as Ron Killings, meaning he was coming back as a more serious character. Even when he was on a Bust Open podcast, he sat up there and said, I'm the one driving the bus now. And then it's like, they did that for like 2 weeks and then he completely disappeared. I was wondering, I'm like, maybe I'm missing it, but where the fuck is Ron at? And then when I started to see him pop up here and there, he's starting to be like silly Ron. I'm like, okay, that don't make no damn sense to me. And then this last little SmackDown or whatever, he comes out to like his regular song. I'm like, oh, so similar to John, we're just throwing that out the window. So no shade to Ron Killings, but I no longer feel bad for you because I'm about to get into something else. But I no longer feel bad for you because you're like walking into this and you're okay with this. Instead of standing on your square and being like, no, I want to be a serious character. I want to be taken seriously. You went right back into that same role. And again, that's going to roll into the whole New Day problem that I have, which is going to roll into my overall problem that I have. Something else too. So with the New Day, again, as me being somebody new, I don't know nothing about the New Day. All I keep hearing when I do hear about them is how they used to be this great tag team championship or whatever. And, you know, they turned heel or whatever with Big E not being there anymore. And oh my gosh, they were so great. But, I mean, I guess everything I hear now is that they're not. But my biggest thing with them when I first, like, started to see them is like, bro, this is just an overall problem with the WWE. It's like these racial stereotypes gotta stop, bro. Like, we're in 2025, and the way that y'all lean so far into like racial stereotypes is ridiculous, bro. Like, but I seen that writer's room in Unreal, so like it makes all the sense in the world. But R-Truth just gives coon. New Day gives coon. I like Carmelo Hayes from what I see, but it gives like typical black stereotype rapper, jewelry, cool, all that shit. The Usos are Samoan, but are more black than anything. Jacob Fatu is Samoan, but is like a West Coast banger. Like, it's just too much for me, man. It's too much. The racial undertones have always been there, but like as an adult seeing it, it's so off-putting, bro. That R-Truth shit really bothered me. Cause for real, all he does is run around there like a coon. That's it. The WB Frog. That's what he gives. And the fact that we was trying to, you know, support you and was happy that you wanted to take this new serious role. And the fact that you fell right back into that position. That's sad, bro. That's sad. I need y'all to do better with I know y'all not going to, but y'all need to get better with the stereotypes. I'm sick of it. And even with the women too. But I'll be here all day. If I talk about the women, I'll be here all day. When they're the ones that's really carrying. Did you see Evolution? Carrying. The women's lineup is stacked. And y'all be trying to play with the storylines. Y'all do shit that don't make no type of sense. Y'all don't know how to appeal to women. As a whole bunch of men in there, y'all do not know how to appeal to women. The freaking conflicts that y'all have between the women on this show makes no sense. The best storyline that I've seen all year was the one that had to do with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. The black girls carrying per usual. That was the best storyline all year. What is the rest of this? What are we doing? What else I got on my daggone list? I don't know if I got anything else. The Saudi Arabia of it all. Like, okay, y'all got the bag. I get it from a business standpoint. But I want to be very clear because they announced, right, that they're going to be doing WrestleMania, I don't know, not the next one, but the one after that in Saudi Arabia. And I hear people like, oh, we'll see how many people from the U.S. I want to be very, I would hope that they're smart enough to know this. Nobody from the U.S. is going over there. Nobody from the U.S. of A is traveling from here to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. We barely going just cuz, let alone for WrestleMania. Do you want to go down the reasons as to why? Well, let's start off. As the rest of the world tends to know, Americans, we are not as well like worldly traveled as everyone else. We tend to kind of stick within, like our little, like hemisphere, either Canada where we are, sometimes a little bit across the pond, is the best that we're going to really do. But for the most part, we don't really be going a whole lot of places. Second of all, there's a lot of reasons behind that too, but we'll get into that later. Second of all, if you think that these people are going over to a brown country, it's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. At the most, like I said, Americans are going somewhere within the U.S. to one of the U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe Mexico, maybe Canada, maybe, like I said, London, maybe Paris. But they're going to those places because it's familiar. That's another thing, too, with Americans. And I don't know, I don't even want to say just Americans. But I'm only saying that because I can only speak for us. We go to places that's familiar because America used to be a very open place where you can kind of say whatever and do whatever. And most Americans don't be wanting to do the research of the rules that they got to follow and what they got to do and what they don't got to do when they go over to certain countries. So they try to go to places that's as close to pretty much what it is like from where they're from, which are places like London, places like Paris. I mean, not Paris, but France, like places like that. So that's where they kind of try to stick to. Also, if we're talking about the actual like marketing and view that Americans have of like Saudi Arabia, it ain't good. The messaging, I'm not saying whether it's good or not. I'm saying the messaging that we get over here is that it's not a nice place to be. Right. So if you were having WrestleMania in Paris, which is where I think you guys should have had it. If I'm Paris, I'm pissed. That's a smack in the face. WrestleMania should absolutely be in Paris. So if they would have had WrestleMania in Paris, Americans are absolutely going to Paris. Because from like the East Coast to Paris, it's like an 8-hour flight. It's like an 8-9 hour flight. It ain't even that far. And people from the US like going to Paris. If you would have said London, people from the US would have went. But I want you to know right now, no way on God's green earth is people from America going over there. Let's take the money off the table. Because I talked about the money. First of all, nobody's going because they're broke. Hello? But the people that could have maybe finessed it if it was still here, or even if it was right there in Paris, they're definitely not finessing it to go all the way over there. Y'all insane. You're insane. And for y'all to do that and not take the women, again, of y'all company into consideration, I watched the last few Saudi shows. I think I might have seen 1 or 2 women. We saw how they looked. I saw the reception of the women that did come out. And more importantly, allegedly, y'all don't even like black people. Sometimes it's called an angel investor. They should have been in the background. Nobody is going over there. I want y'all to hear me. No American is going over there. And then my last problem with this is mostly is that I'm tapped out for real recently, because y'all do the same thing every week. This is, to me, as a casual, what I see on Raw. I see the first segment is somebody who comes out, is normally connected to whatever happened big the last episode, come out, give a really big speech, get halfway through their speech, somebody cuts them off, comes down, they get into a back and forth, they might fight, they might not. The last couple of weeks, it's been that people been coming out, and then the manager from the back been coming out and setting matches, setting that as the main event for, the night. Mostly it's Division coming out, going back and forth with somebody, Seth, CM Punk, LA Knight, somebody. Then they get into a back and forth. Then we do matches in between. Then at the end is Braun, I think, going against somebody. Somebody interferes. The show's over. That's what's happening every week. Come out, somebody gets cut off, go back and forth. The last match is somebody fights and then somebody interferes and the match is over. What are we doing? I was so excited, to get back into wrestling because everybody seemed so excited. And I will say that the number one thing I like about wrestling is the community around it. Like the IWC, y'all be cracking me up. It's really a nice time. And that's the only reason I still pay attention. It's mostly because of the commentary. I don't even pay attention because of what's actually going on. I mostly pay attention so that I can see everybody else drag them or everybody else commentary on it. And that's sad. I'm not paying $30 a month. I mean, I got cable, so it don't matter. But if I didn't, I wouldn't be paying no $30 a month. There's too many other cheap ways to see it. And y'all based in America. I know y'all super rich, but look around. That's my rant, y'all. I'm done. I'm out. Bye.